Historic Pauper people, we are back with kind of just a fun one today. So the Historic Pauper forums have updated. People are starting to post new lists. I know that other people do Glimmer Bat decks probably more prominently than I do, but I do still like to brew. I think we've seen Jund version, we've seen a Rakdos version. I'm doing a Golgari version, and the reason for this is I really like this meme card. It's pretty much a terrible card. It's not great, but in certain circumstances it can be amazing. That's Wolf's Quarry. So the reason for this, we'll get into the core of the deck. So the core of the deck is you've got Glimmer Bat. Obviously we're sacrificing tokens. If anybody's played this before, you know what it does. You want to get lots of stuff that creates tokens, and you sacrifice them, you make a big guy, and you crush somebody. Since you are sacrificing tokens, you might as well get a little extra mileage with the bat. Also, it makes them lose life when you create tokens, so turns out to be pretty strong in this circumstance. I don't think this is necessarily a competitive deck yet. I could be wrong. I mean, there might be other ways to build it out. And then the big enablers, the ones that really give you some good value here, is sacrificing stuff. You get another big threat. Not critical to the deck, but certainly helpful with Gixian Infiltrator. The big ones that give you the most mileage, Vampire's Kiss. This card, I think, has been flying under the radar a little bit for quite a long time. In a situation where you're creating tokens, it's amazing for the bat because you can create 2 tokens. So you're going to get an extra 2 loss of life as they get created. They sacrifice themselves. You're going to get another 2 life loss when you sacrifice them, even if you don't have Glimmer Bat or something else out. So this one is absolutely crucial in a deck like the Rakdos or Jund version that does like a Reckless Fireweaver. Also amazing. I mean, an immediate 4 damage and 2 life gain. So you're getting a 6 life swing plus 2 filtering options there. Deadly Dispute, obviously, you sacrifice a token when you do it, create another token, helps you ramp. You've got this Underseller Myconid, I couldn't even say it, but people don't really use it. In this one, it's really good. It creates a token on entry, creates a token on death, also ramps your mana, gives you guys some chump blockers. Careful Cultivation creates a token, also helps you ramp mana, so these help you get going. Everything else is kind of filler. Emergency Well, got to get your guys back, also creates a token. And then everything else is kind of filler fluff. And then you've got the meme that is my dream, Wolf's Quarry. So this one is the biggest token generator that you have available. So in a deck that revolves around token creation, you're talking about 6 tokens. So 1 bat on the table and Baron to sacrifice things with, you generate 12 damage off this card. So it creates 3, you deal 3 damage, you sacrifice the 3, you deal another 3 damage, and then it also creates another 3 tokens. You deal 3 damage, and then you sacrifice those tokens, and you deal 3 damage. So 3 times 3 times 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. 3 times 4 is 12. I think my math is still correct. So yeah, 12 damage with 1 Baron and Bat on the board. So it's a kind of a grindy deck. You're basically setting up a board position to try and go off on somebody. Sometimes we'll win by attacking because you do build up quite a bit of a swarm from time to time. Games are pretty grindy, they're pretty tough. I've been playing it for a few days just in normal Historic. So you do have to deal with some strategies that are just completely unwinnable. I'm going to try and record a few games just to have some fun with it again and see how we like it. Oh, you can see I was making a red 1-drop deck. We're going to switch over to Glimmer Bat. Let's see if we can get a few games. So a lot of the games, and the reason why I like it, a lot of the games I basically find myself in a position where I'm like one turn away from losing the game, and then we get a token chain and win. So this is okay. I mean, it's not the greatest, but it's okay. We've got a fixer. We've got plenty of mana. Let's see how many. I think what we can do here is we can use our careful study to go get tokens instead of land fixers. So they pop up. I don't know what that is. Don't care. Okay, cool. So probably some sort of black-white gain drain is what I'm, going to be facing here. Oh, we got our bat, which is cool. But I think we're gonna. No, we're not gonna go. Let's not go all the way with it. Be able to make sure that we can play the next turn and hopefully see our Glimmer Bat. I do have an emergency weld, so if it gets killed I can bring it back, so that's not too bad. Not a big deal. So again, these things are not that big of a deal. What does this go do again? Whenever a creature deals combat, just one of your opponents may pay 1 life for that. Do they draw a card? Discard X cards, okay. So I guess the question becomes is, do we want to get this thing off the board that bad? I don't really know, to be honest. So sure, why not? Let's see what he's got. Alright, so we will get that out. Five minutes. That sucks. Hey, it's better than losing my back. So let's gosh, do I want to bring it up? I kind of think what I want to do here is I want to emergency weld out the mana producer just to make them think that that's an important card to me. But just gonna play out the bat and see what happens. If it gets exiled, oh yeah. So let's emergency weld the bat. You have hexproof. I don't think we're too worried about that. think we do the pest on this one. Cool. Don't want to. Let's keep. Let's see. What can we get that help us here? Let's go ahead. Perfect. Cool. So, we've got the game right here. So, we're going to go there. We're going to Wolf's Quarry. So we got there. So that's kind of like I said, this has been like the typical outing. Like sometimes we face decks that are just like impossible to beat. Like they're just, you know, we face like a really fast aggro deck, we never get established, we get crushed. We face like some intricate combo deck that just puts out power, and that one was again in danger of, you know, getting away from us. They're starting to get, you know, really big stuff. It's going to start depleting a board, so we get in a position where we're just like almost, you know, dead on board, and you know, we draw into what we need to do. We'll do one more so we can see if we can get a game like that again, which is like, this is why it's been so much fun to play this deck. It's like you're so close to losing, and then you just, you know, you have enough to get there because, you know, the deck draws a good amount of cards, you know, it goes through its stuff, it stabilizes, it hangs in there, and then it just, you know, deals 12 damage from nowhere or more, you know. So it's a fun little deck to play. This isn't great, but it's serviceable. So let's put out a little mana to do their food. So it'll be a food deck. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to put out the Kiss first to give myself some tokens to give to the Glimmer Baron, and we're just going to hold back. Okay. Yep, I got 2 tokens. Slow him down a little bit, and now we're going to get this guy out. Just a little bit. very defensively. We're just going to let them do their thing. He's gonna munch me off here. So let's do, before we do anything, okay, This is the kind of deck that's very difficult to beat. So we're going to discard. Keep this available for surprise. So they've got too much. Everything's getting tokens, so. We gotta get rid of that clip or something like that. This is not gonna end well for us. They got me. Decks like that, very tough. Obviously, we don't face anything in Pauper that is that strong. The Cathar alone that just, exiles creatures and, keeps them. Obviously, I think it's something that you look at what kind of removal you have. Like Tragic Slip, I think would be better than what I have if I'm looking at creature removal. But I'm looking to like facilitate cards, kind of do the rope-a-dope where you've got to dummy creatures to block and get more cards. So they're never going to attack with that card when it's in a position to do that. And repeatedly get itself value in removing my stuff. We'll play one more good battle for the lives. I'm glad we got our one cool win, and then we've also seen like where you have the pitfalls of the deck, and then this will just be hopefully we get another fun one. If we don't, we can cut it short and try something else. But yeah, so far this deck has just been so much fun. So we don't have any black mana, and we've got kind of a handful of black, but we do have a lot of ways to get black mana. Man, I don't know. I mean, I've got all the. This is one of those really tough ones. Like the You Are Already Dead's worthless for me right here, but having like both pieces of the combo and a Vampire's Kiss, it's so tough to throw this back. I think I have to. Yeah, this is better. And we will keep this for sure. We'll pitch the quarry, actually. So because we'll keep that. We'll pitch the quarry. Let's get ourselves extra black. And this is also just kind of alright. We don't really need the kiss here. We can wait for it to be a payoff, so just hold on to it. We don't need to use it now. Let's see if we can make it. Okay, we're going to see further around that. Typically, this is actually been a pretty decent matchup for me. Unless they're playing a lot of creatures that can fight and have a lot of trample. A lot of times, some natural. Do this. Vampire's Kitchen. Big old dude. We're okay with that. We're okay with losing the Infiltrator. We're also okay with losing our and that's their biggest threat. It's got trample damage, which is perfectly fine. Okay, so do we trade the farm here or not? Down on mana. That. 2 blockers. Discard that. Mitigate it, that's a bummer because we got get another one of these. There's the bat. Played out naked. We're okay. So they can create some tokens. They can come after me. All this is just stalling right now. They took a while on that turn, so I don't know if they're punishing me with slow play or if they're trying to figure out what I'm actually doing here. I mean, if they have an answer to it, they kill my bat. You can see this type of stuff. And what's good here is it doesn't have to also. We don't have any reach, so we're going to chip away just a little bit. Oh my gosh. Well, let's see if we can pull this out somehow. Play that. Oh, so close. Oh, if only it was a regular land, we had it. Oh, that's so tragic. So tragic. Oh, man. Oh, man, we were there. We were there. They better have something to boost me. Well, they're going to draw a lot of cards. Wow, that they play that wrong. I mean, what? Okay, well, we win. Cool. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I should have lost that one. I think they should have just created a token, attack with the bigger guy, and I lose. So, well, I guess it's maybe the same. Maybe they spent their mana poorly. They auto paid, used up their white or something. I don't know. What did they do there? I don't know. Yeah, I guess maybe I eked it out. I don't know. I thought they could have done it to be able to beat me there, but maybe I'm wrong. So anyway, win's a win. Gosh, it would have been really cool if we just got the natural win with the regular land. But anyway, that is the deck. We'll post it one more time, just so you can kind of see again what we're working with. Yeah, key cards, Glimmer Baron, Mirkwood Bats, Vampire's Kiss, and Wolf's Quarry. But we got a couple of Shambling Gas, a couple You Already Deads. If there were, that's the thing that this deck struggles with, is it struggles with drawing cards. So you do need things to draw you cards. This works in the basic shell, but I think something like Tragic Slip, or something that sacrifices a creature to kill one of their creatures, like Eaten Alive, something like that, is probably better removal in general. So if you're facing like creature heavy decks, things that you need to get out of play really fast, that's probably the better removal, and I think that's probably where we'd end up going to. Obviously Deadly Dispute, great card, and helps you sacrifice things to the bat, and then creates a token on the way in, so you get some extra pings there. Emergency Weld gets your creature back and gives you a token to keep the board going. Again, this helped me stay in that white game a lot longer than I probably had any reason being. Like that game against the white aggro deck was probably unwinnable from the start. If they didn't have something that was exiling my Glimmer Baron at the very beginning and like removing it, the deck can, it can just sit there and stonewall people. You take very little damage, you drag it out as long as you can, and then all of a sudden you're chaining off. This is just an extra deadly dispute. I mean, it could probably go for something else. Vampire Kiss, obviously we noted before, huge spell, like it just does a lot of work. This helps with your mana fixing, gets you a little extra life, and then it lets you go get either a land search or tokens. I don't know if it's that critical, but it's been pretty good. I like it. If you get any 2 lands basically early on, you can always make sure you got your other color, gain a little life in the process, and then if you need more lands to keep going, you can get environmental sciences to get that 4th land, which is kind of critical to get your bats and gain you a little extra life, or you can just go straight into the tokens if you need token generators. Careful Cultivation, again, ramps, gives you a token creature. In a pinch, you can turn something, to get an extra 1/3 on it with reach, which is fine. This has actually been really good. Ramps mana creates a token on the way in, dies creates a token on the way out, so that's really cool. Obviously, we've got our bats, and we've got our little wolves, our little boars and food, little wolf's quarry. It's again such a meme card, but I love it. Mana base could use some work. It's got a bit more tap lands than I really would like to run. However, you do want to get that fixing in there. I think Kalani's Garden is pretty crucial because you do want to get those extra tokens. You do want to gain a little life. The reason why I have those in there also is they do have a subtle little pump with Infiltrator, but it may be better just to run more natural lands, so that way you limit some of those opportunities to get a tap land instead of a natural land, like you saw that last game. If that was any untapped land, any forest or swamp at that point that came up off the top, I just win that turn, with some amazing bat action. I mean, 3 bats in 3 bats in play. It's just bonkers. But anyway, so that's the deck. Hope you liked it. We'll come back with something more if this deck evolves a little bit, but that's kind of the basic idea.